Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the ancestor modules, a bit of a guide, what to look out for, what are synchronization values, how to readjust them and things like that. So I have a few good ones for Sharon and one or two other people. I have readjusted a few of them, dismantled a few of them. So I'll talk about how to get them, how many you can hold and things like that. So what are these ancestor modules? So over here, these are the new Transcendent tier modules. They will slot into one of the normal module slots, replacing one of your standard modules. And depending on the stats you get, you can actually get a lot more extra crit damage or crit power or something like that. Crit rate, I mean, and things like that. So yeah, it's basically randomized. You can get up to 4 stats, 2, 3, or 3 and 1 negative, or 4 with 3 green ones and 1 red one or the negative one. And over here, you go to add Cillian. He's standing on the left. And this thing here is where you readjust the ancestor module. So you can see I have a few of them. It also shows you the ones that have had some adjustments. So I've done this 3 times, this one only once, this one 4 times, nothing on these ones, and so on. Now what you get is, let's say we take this one here, Tech Experts. This is for Lepic, basically. Okay, so these are the ranges that you have. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention. In the options, under gameplay, if you go all the way down, you have this option here, display option range. This shows you the range of certain options. So whatever you have on your mod or something, it'll show you the range that you can get and where you are on that range. So if you see here, where it says max MP, it says 4.8 to 18.1. We are at 12.3. So we are sort of in the middle. So that shows you the ranges. If you hide that option, you won't know what is the minimum and maximum number. Now there's also something called synchronization value. So if you press the inventory screen and you go W over here, in the subsection you have synchronization value, 1.16. Now what they're saying here regarding the synchronization value is descendants that have had a rework or a rebalance, they'll have lower synchronization, and descendants that still need to be adjusted a little bit will have higher. 1.16 here for Sharon is a bit on the higher side. And what this basically means is the ranges that you get for the options will be a bit higher for higher synchronization value. So for example, Haley just got a rework and a rebalance, so her synchronization will be lower. If you see here, 0.48. So the ranges she gets for her modules and the options on the modules will be lower simply because they don't want her to become too powerful because they've just done a rework. So they will be adjusting these synchronization values as and when certain descendants get a rebalance or a rework or a buff or something. So yeah, so not that important, but just to get an idea, if you are thinking, why is the Simo getting such a high option range and why is Haley not getting the same? It's probably because of this. Okay, so that is the synchronization value. So now regarding the Transcendent modules, where do you get them, how many can you hold, and so on. Basically, you can hold 70 at rank 1, 70 ancestor modules, and starting from rank 11, you can hold 1 per rank, mastery rank. So in other words, at 31, you can have another 20 or maybe 21, and the 70 from the starting, so about 90, 91. So that is the range. Now, initially it was 50 at rank 1, but they have increased it to 70. And each descendant has 1 ancestor's modules. So for Sharon, we have this one here, the Assassin's Resolution. And you can see we get various values like crit damage and damage and power and things like that. Now, if you go over here, readjustment, let's try and readjust one of them. Grenadier, this is for Lepic. Now, Lepic is mostly using tech skills. Don't know what build I'm using for Lepic. Let me just get Lepic here. Haven't used Lepic a lot recently. It's pretty good now, especially for the action plays. I don't even have a preset for him, unfortunately. So, first ability is tech, second is singular, third is singular, fourth is tech. So we are going to use the ultimate, and we're also going to use the explosive stack. So tech, more tech power would be nice. Overclock inflicts burn, and this one just sort of pulls them in. So more power into the singular doesn't really help us that much. So if we go here and if we see Grenadier's resolution, now this shows you the ranges that you'll get if you only get 2 options. If you want to get 3 green options, meaning 3 positive ones, this range will be from 1.61 to 43. So you can notice here, when you have only 2 options, you have a higher range. And when you have only 3 options, the ranges will be a bit limited because you're getting different options here. With 2 positive and 1 negative, again, you get a higher range because you'd also be getting a negative 1. And same for the 3 options and 1 negative. Your range will be a bit higher, but not as much as. So ideally, 2 good green ones or 2 green ones and 1 negative. That is what you want. And you cannot control this. You will re-roll and you'll get a random selection of up to 4. So let's see how that goes. So we have the superconductive cooling. You need these for re-rolling. First time you do it, it'll cost 30,000 gold and 10,000 Kuiper. So if we do the readjustment here, now what you get is max shield, max HP, tech skill power boost ratio. Now tech skill power boost ratio is 24.5%, and the duration is reduced by 13%. Is duration important for living? Not really. So we'll select this one. I think this is better than what we have. More tech power is good. More HP is always handy. So we are sort of in the middle of everything here. Max shield is pretty good. Let's try and re-roll one more time. See what we get. So now as you can see, we get fire skill power in blue. Critical hit damage goes down quite a bit. Max HP. So this is definitely not good. We are going to keep what we have. So we've done 2 rolls. Can we do one more? Let's do one more. Now it will cost us 90 and 30. So now we have cooldown, critical hit rate, fire skill power boost ratio, singular power goes down. See, singular power going down doesn't bother us because that is not important. Skill firepower boost ratio is not bad. Critical hit rate increase is always handy. Cooldown increase, not bad. So, but the tech power here at 24.5% is pretty good. This is actually not bad. And the singular loss isn't really that big a deal. All right, let's just take this one just in case. So basically, this is how you can re-roll and then adjust the module into your build. Now, where do you get these modules? You get them regularly from different missions. So you get 10 from the Supermassive Receptor Dungeon, 10 per week. So you can see I've already done this more than 10 times, so I've already received the 10. You get from the Sigma sector, Broken Boundary. Every day when you do this, you get the box from each of the 2 zones. You also have a chance of getting them from the Wall Crasher. You can buy them from ETA every week, 5 times per week. And then also the dimensional reading. So every day in the action place, when you do the mission with the Fang, you get 1 from here. So you are kind of limited per week how many you can get. But yeah, try to get all of them and then you can re-roll. It'll take some time to get the perfect rolls. You don't really get the best ones immediately. So far, like I showed you, I don't know if I showed you already or not. But for Sharon, I got one with a skill critical hit damage of 175.6%. So basically, what I can do here, I have a few things that I can do to adjust this Transcendent mod, Ancestors mod. So I have skill concentration of 115%. Over here, I have 175%. So if I just slot this instead of the concentration, I get 60% more crit damage. So if you see over here, 5.217. And so if I was to take this one here and just swap it here, now I get 6.061. So nothing else has changed. I just got a lot more crit damage. Now another thing I can do, of course, is if we get the concentration back, I can basically keep both of them. So this one here with 150, this stays. So we are still getting the 5 point something that we were getting. And let's say we drop the HP. and we put this, so we get 175 on top of that. And now we are at 7.677 times crit damage. Everything else remains the same. So you can do that. Of course, you're sacrificing a little bit of HP, but with Sharon and her invisibility, you can actually manage just fine. So other options, we get dimensional skill power, that is not useful. Max sheet, okay, it's a little bit okay. Skill cost reduction of 8% can be annoying, but if you keep an eye on the MP orbs, you can manage. So basically, this is how you would adjust the Ancestors resolution. Also forgot what was Sharon's synchronization. It's actually on the higher side, so that's why we're getting 175 on this one, and the top range for that is 180.5. So yeah, this is basically how you would adjust. So yeah, I'll test these some more, and then maybe I'll have a Sharon video with the one that I ended up. I have tested all three of them. They all have their pros and cons, but yeah, I'll have a separate Sharon build because Sharon is pretty good as well. So hopefully that gave you a good idea of the Ancestors modules. A handy little thing, definitely. But yeah, it'll depend on your re-rolling. I would personally not re-roll more than 3 or 4 times, and you can just dismantle them. You'll keep getting more every week, so until you're happy with something really strong, you can just adjust them. Anyway, hopefully this was useful. Thank you for watching. See you next.